Tonight on Let's Have the Conversation, video game mayhem, there's no sun in Europe, and hotel safety, and much, much, much more tonight on Let's Have the Conversation. By the way, folks, don't forget we have sponsorship slots. If you want to promote your business, if you want to promote your products, email us at amagicwalk@gmail.com. See you in a minute, folks.
Round table full of melanites. Cause nobody gon' shine, I don't need the ice. It's real tough. Yeah. Speaking on the times, cause my people need to see. Third eye blind, know they lying through their teeth. They tryna loot the time, tryna keep us in a sleep. But you know we gotta rise like the steam in the heat. Quantum physics to a beat, how time zones lead. It matter just the data that your brain gon' see. Alchemy, you master all that photon light. Avatar, the body, just the temple, do you see? The deities surround me, I feel the peace. Breathe deep, I push chi like Bruce Lee. Yo, it's Dragon Ball Z, I'm Super Saiyan 3. And we finna walk them down, any town, any street. New world on horizon, I can see the silver lining. Cause the sun gon' shine, then we all keep shining. Mighty lion could heal the pain, you know his name. But they stand on the same old thing. They playing, well let's talk about it. Round table full of melanites. Crystal body gon' shine, I don't need the ice. D and me, you gon' see us rise. My people so divine, know it's our time. Let's talk about it.
Let's have the conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's have the conversation.
I don't wanna hear that he say, that she say. You're listening to parasites on replay. They tap into my phone to listen like we on three-way. It's tap into your aura, feel the energy like heat waves. Let's talk about it. Who you praying to? When you start to lose your mind, who is saving you? If you're moving through the time, what's the energy that's moving you? I wanna have the conversation. We always dropping gems back and forth, like great debating. We making our own way, our own land, our own pavement. Just tuning out the spaceship. I like to wake up with the sun. Say my daily mantra, speaking cryptic, speaking tongues. Tell them what I'm after, we're the one and get it done. I feel my enemies around me. 7 deadly sins, they tryna trap and keep me bounded. I'm not staying around, I get my people, then I'm outie. Yeah.
Round table full of melanites. Crystal body gon' shine, I don't need the ice. D and me, you gon'
Greetings, 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 and welcome to another episode of Let's Have the Conversation. Greetings, panel.
Greetings.
Greetings, committee. We have so missed you since last week. Oh my goodness. You know what, y'all? I saw something before we get started. I saw something, and I just wanted to bring it up real quick, right? There are these exoskeletons that the special needs children are using now, right? And I just thought it was so. Do we have a picture of that or no? Do
No,
we?
but if you have it, you can show it, definitely.
Okay, absolutely. I didn't know. Okay, here, let me show y'all real quick. I just thought this was so cool. Look at that. I just thought that was cool. Anywho, we gonna move on right with the show. I just thought that was starting to show off with some positivity. You know what I'm saying? A little special need baby. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, we gonna kick this thing off with Jose. Come on, Jose. Handled or handling? Let's do it.
Let's do it. We're back at it, you all. All right. This week we're talking about Anna Nicole Smith. She has a documentary that's on Netflix right now. Basically, it's about her journey within the industry, the beginning into her end. And basically, watching it, you get to see how she went through so many different things. One, you see she had went from one persona, which was her real name, I believe it's Vicky, to when she got in there, she changed it to Nikki when she was a stripper. Then after she had got to her stripper days, she decided I need something different. I want a whole new name. I want to disassociate from all of this. She created a different name for herself, Anna Nicole Smith. She branded herself. She met someone. He was actually an oil, what was it, like an oil manufacturer or something. He was in the oil company, and he was basically one of her sugar daddies. And they were in there doing their little thing, and she elevated herself. She didn't marry him until she got herself to the part of her career that she wanted to get to. So when she finally got past Playboy and got to Guess, that's when she decided it's time to marry you. I was going to marry you in the beginning of the career, but she waited a little later till she saw that she had more stature. Basically, you get to see how all that changed her life, how the paparazzi and how the negative connotation of things had took a toll on her life as well. Getting straight to it, do we believe she was handled or handling? It looks as if she was handling her sugar daddy, also having an opportunity because she was not able to have the access that she wanted to the money once they got married finally. The son had took it away. Then next thing you know, within that whole process, she had met several other men. And while meeting several other men, she has a son as well, Daniel. Daniel is within this whole process of her going on, starting her life with new men, and she is getting ready to have a new baby. Daniel passes away when she's in the Bahamas. They don't know, which you can tell a lot of people believe it was murder, but they keep trying to stray away from it and say it was suicide. But when you look back at it, you see that it was murder. And in the next instance, she's trying to get herself back. They keep trying to throw the whole drug thing on her. She can't get back to her lifestyle. She can't move back. The man she's with now is her alleged baby daddy. And that was where, I don't know if everyone else remembers, but it was a huge controversy in the news. Like, who is the baby's father after her passing? That was like the hugest thing. And that had shook the table. You had a lot of men coming forth saying, it's my baby. And she kept saying it was his baby. Long story short, the baby has no inheritance from any of her things that she's been in Guess, not even the prior marriage, not even Playboy. She has no inheritance at all. Her name is Danielle. And I believe she was handled because it's coming back that the doctors that were giving the certain prescriptions to Nicole, they were not the ones that she should have been having. They were over prescribed, and she had taken them, but when you see, it does not look like she had taken them. In my perspective, while I'm watching, it kind of makes me think of someone very similar, Brittany Murphy's story. And in that story, in this instance, she was trying to get out of the industry. And then not only did she try to get out, that whole sequence of how her segment went, it was like her husband had passed after she had passed, I believe. It was very crazy. And I just thought it was strange as well with this, where it was her son, then it was her. And it's like a life insurance policy. It felt like we can get the son, then we can get her, and then we have this. I believe she was handled, but that's a little bit quick backstory on Anna Nicole. I just wanted to see if anyone else believed she was handled or was doing the handling as well.
Yeah, she was definitely handled. Aren't they all? You know what I'm saying? And all these situations, if you want to know who, go look who had the most to gain. That's who did it. That's who's handling. That's who's orchestrating 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Insurance policies, all that kind of shit. I'm done.
You know what's really interesting about you saying Brittany Murphy and bringing up Brittany Murphy and her husband, Jose? Did you know that her personal trainer was Mr. Pasternak, the same as Kanye West? Just saying.
Did you know Kanye West was
Wow.
actually brought up in this documentary? And how she had went up on stage, and that's when she was so like intoxicated and gone with the wind on drugs on stage with Kanye West. That's another thing too, Malika, that I'm glad you said that they had brought Kanye West up and how they were linked. But I see you, Katita. You go ahead.
I believe it was the attorney, because he later died as well, right? So it was Daniel, Anna, and then the husband attorney that was trying to claim paternity over little Danny. Um, and he had a lot to gain behind that as well, which is why I feel like he wanted the daughter to be his, because he thought he was going to be able to inherit the $1 billion that was set to be given to Nicole. And they had to get Daniel out the way because he would have been next in line for the inheritance. You know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean. You had to knock him off to get to the top because he would have been the heir of her money.
Ain't that about a bit? Mm-mm-mm. You was muted. What'd you say, governess? Nothing. Oh,
I said you got to be more careful.
that part. Cause when you
Because in
don't,
the end,
you see what
nobody
happens.
ended up getting any of it, because they
Mm,
were so pissed that this $1 billion tycoon wanted to give her all of his money. Who gives a fuck? That's his money. If he wanted to give it to her, then he said he
that's,
was aware of the situation. I
mm,
mean, let me tell you something. Let me just be all the way honest. If I suck your little wrinkled up 97-year-old dick, I'm gonna need the billion too, bitch. I'm gonna need that. Run it.
that part. I totally understand. Yeah. Especially genome. Okay. Um, but speaking of handling, what's going on with Jamie Foxx, Aubrey?
Greetings, everyone. Well, I came across this little video on the YouTube, and it shows Jamie Foxx in a hospital bed, giving us some kind, like maybe like a scripted kind of situation. But it was very, very interesting that this was released, maybe a couple of days ago. And it's like the comments are like, "Oh, Jamie, we are so glad that you are doing well." Da 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 da. So I just want to know, what your thoughts are in regards to the video. Um, do we have it, y'all, to play? Yes.
I don't. I can try to find it.
It's in the WhatsApp group. I had put the two links in there because my other phone isn't signed into it.
By the time it
Okay.
came through, I was like, I didn't have no time to put it up there.
Oh no, you're
Wait.
fine. You're fine. It's okay.
I think I found it, y'all. Hold on.
So y'all look at the video and tell me what your thoughts are.
I was asked to talk straight to the people, and I think I need to because we are in a very unprecedented time. We're in an unpredictable time. So that's why I'm doing every single thing that I can to make sure that I protect my body. Thank you, Tine. Thank you again so much for supporting. Thank you so much. I know a lot of you guys are saying what's going on here, what's going on there with some of the stories. Love y'all.
For me, it's giving
I was asked.
CGI. It's giving.
It's giving that ain't him.
It's
It
giving.
was definitely giving
Yeah.
that
Girl,
Charm
who?
Head
Yeah,
because
His
Like,
face looks
It's giving
different.
AI.
Yeah, it's giving
Oh
CGI.
yeah,
It's giving
yeah.
all of that. Yeah, very
and it
much
also
so.
That's
gave
true. Yeah, because
Tom
that
Cruise
face was
acting.
very much like it was his face was different in the first scene, and they made sure to have like a good little shot of his face like this so you can look at it. And if you don't know, you don't know. But that was definitely what is
Do we have the little
what
clip
is
of
that?
the little boy from back in the day that was executed? This AI
what?
that's in
Wait,
the
what?
chat.
Uh,
We
um,
talked about it.
that it should be in the group chat too. It's way up.
Oh,
There.
let
Yeah.
me
Thinking the same
see if I.
thing because it's just as realistic. Mm-hmm.
Do we have it?
Look, I'm trying
It's
to find
Cheney.
it. It.
Hold on,
He like
hold
has
on.
on yellow or something, I think.
Uh.
But
Uh.
he was
Uh.
actually executed in like 19 40, 1940 or something.
Oh, I
He
know
was
what
the
you're
first
talking
little
about.
boy to ever be
The
executed.
Green
And
Mile.
they,
The Green
Yeah.
yes,
Mile.
Green Mile.
Right. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking in the media files, y'all. I'm not. You know, you're trying to look for something and you're going so fast, you probably skipping it. Um, I don't see it. I don't see it. Uh,
Yes, his
The
mouth, Erica
the
Stewart.
committee said George Stinney. I don't know if you knew his name,
Hmm.
Carbon, but if you want to look it up,
Yeah,
it's George
that's his
Stinney.
name. George
Stingy.
Stinney.
Mm.
Stinney. Him, yes. Hold on, let me
Who
move this
did
out your
that?
way. Let me hold on, let me move this out your way.
Gratitude, Malika.
Get out of here.
Who did that?
And
So
Who's
that
you're
little
saying
Russia?
baby has been executed and gone.
I was the youngest person.
Just let me know when. I'm gonna try
No,
to put my
wait. Are
headphones
you
closed.
wait?
Listen, ever since last night, my computer has been acting really weird. The energy. Are you up there?
Ever
Oh,
sentenced to
shit.
death
yeah,
in
she's up
history.
there.
I was 14 years old and innocent. My story inspired the movie The Green Mile. My name is George Stinney and this is my story. I was born on October 21st, 1929, in South Carolina, United States. I grew up in a poor, black family in a country where racial segregation was deeply rooted. In 1944, two young white girls were found dead near my home. Betty June Binneker, age 11, and Mary Emma Thames, age 7, were discovered in a ditch filled with water with severe head injuries. I was arrested and accused of their murder, without any motive or evidence against me. I was interrogated for several hours by the police, without the presence of a lawyer or the parents. They deprived me of food and sleep to force me to confess to the murder. Exhausted, I cracked and repeated what they wanted me to say. A month later, my trial began. It lasted only a few hours. The judge appointed me an incompetent lawyer. The jury was exclusively composed of whites. My family was prevented from attending the trial because of their race. The verdict came quickly and I was sentenced to death by electrocution. My sentence was executed only 83 days after my arrest, on June 16, 1944. They tied me to an electric chair. I was too small, so they made me sit on a Bible. They executed me at the age of 14, making me the youngest person ever to be executed in the United States during the 20th century. It took until 2014, 70 years after my death, for my conviction to be overturned and for my family to obtain justice. It was finally recognized that my constitutional rights had been violated and that the death penalty had been wrongly pronounced. My story is a sad example of how racial discrimination and prejudice can affect the justice system and destroy innocent lives. I hope that my story will help ensure that this never happens again. I was the youngest person ever sentenced to death in history. I was 14 years old and innocent.
Yeah, that's scary. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's giving. It's giving. That's exactly what it's giving. It's giving that.
Hmm.
I am just shocked, girl.
It's a whole range of emotions, like the
Yes.
AI, the story, like
Having him to sit in this jumpsuit as if he is guilty of the
oh my
crime.
God, Aubrey.
How
Mm.
dare y'all?
Not
And
again. I'm
then
going on mute.
Mm.
to allow yourself to let children hear this and have the image of him, whose idea was this,
Yep.
to be like,
Same
we
question.
should definitely show our representation of being for the African American culture, so black power or whatever y'all want to call it, and utilize this child to really make a mockery out of the death of somebody that y'all unalive and set them on your Bible.
Exactly.
Girl, throw the whole IA system in the garbage. Malika, we need to
It,
make you a special melanite version that has all of the things, sis, because this is a
Aubrey
mess.
said IA. It you know what? It is scary. And when you go
AI.
How
when listen,
how
Aubrey, I
poetic.
thought you were about to say something else when you started at first, and I was like, oh no, she thinks he's real. And I was like, not again, because you know we have these moments from the what was the first one, y'all, that Aubrey said? The
He didn't know
adrenochrome
Jerry
crystal.
Springer had black
Oh,
melanite children.
No, but Quatina,
Right.
before then, she said the adrenochrome crystal on Chaz's live, and we was all looking around like,
Oh,
I wasn't supposed. I wasn't supposed to tell nobody that, Aubrey. I'm
we
sorry, my
are
bad.
on
I
the
didn't even know
live,
that.
Malika.
For me, it was a what? Not Tina. It was one of them moments. That's what that
Yeah,
was.
not
Mm-hmm.
Tina knows.
Not Tina. No. Okay.
Listen,
It
the
is.
Jamie Foxx is giving I'm sorry, Malika, it's giving, I'm just gonna say it's giving Kelly Price when she came back from the COVID situation.
Hmm.
Girl,
When I
Kelly.
look at it, all I can think about is who called in the director, the producer, and the filming crew, because that wasn't filmed on an iPhone. That wasn't somebody just in their hospital bed. That's a whole commercial. So like, who and how is it that we as everyday people, once they calculate the numbers to see if we are worthy of staying in the hospital, even though we need to be kept in the hospital, but they put you out anyway because they say that your numbers didn't calculate for the insurance company to cover it, or if you don't have insurance, they make you a little makeshift bed. Who that is sitting up in that energy and is able to film and bring a film crew in? How is he allowed to stay, but we the everyday people are not? There's just so many questions that I have that baffle me when it comes to this situation.
I feel like this is just so dangerous, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I feel like this is dangerous. Hypothetically, Malika, we enemies, right? I know I have access to this technology. What's stopping me from making an AI version of you saying some real foul, fucked up shit to your boss, calling your boss, and putting that up there? Just saying. And now you done said some shit you ain't said. It's your face, it's your likeness, it's your everything. You know what I'm saying? This is dangerous. This is very dangerous, in my opinion.
So a cousin just said that that's actually footage from a commercial he filmed for his liquor. So see, this is I can't stand the internet. I can't
What?
stand. That's what just came up on the screen.
Girl, I
I
Are
saw
you
that too. I
serious?
thought that was like spam. Okay, like that cannot be. That cannot be the truth. Okay, like no, not for the liquor. Okay, let me go back on mute. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's too funny. Anybody else want to touch on it? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna move this thing right on along. Come on, Chaz. Let us know about some hotel safety this good evening.
Yes, greetings everyone. I got a little short clip going on. Basically about these three Melanite women. One of them was not really speaking too much, but another incident like that happened on the show last time where I bring awareness to Melanite women traveling alone and going into these hotels. You have to be extra careful because they're looking at you. They're looking at us as targets because there's no male present or anything like that. So basically, what's going on in this clip is that these young women, well, they older women, who cares? But they're checked into a hotel, and it was an incident to where the guy at the front desk ended up giving these guys actual room key cards to the room this time, without asking no last name, no nothing, no anything. And when they go into the hotel, they're actually looking at the ladies like they knew her by name, you know. Which is, I said, you just got to be careful because you never know what's going on once you put your information in at these hotels, what they have going on. But anyways, I have a short clip I'm going to show you guys. Let's get to it. Our front desk rep allowed two men to have a key card to our room and come upstairs in our room while we were in the room. But no identification. No identification. No last. No access for no last name. He did not. They told them Jessica, a random name, which is my first name, no last name, and he gave him a key card to our room. Mind you,
this isn't the first incident because earlier, her mom, who's sick in the hotel room that we're constantly on the phone with back and forth while we're trying to enjoy ourselves on the trip, said that somebody was trying to get in the room early and she had to lock the door. So she had to put a lock on it, and we wondering like why the key card is not working. We came back down here and asked for another key card. This was prior to this last situation that just happened around 3:15 while we're upstairs in the room. And they walked in the actual room, two men, one with a mask on. I didn't see them because I was in the room, but they're asking for me. Now, once I even came in contact with men on this trip,
and they didn't even know who she was because they walked in the door and was like, "Are you Jessica? Are you Jessica?" They didn't even know who she was.
This is a house trip. It's all females.
But yeah, that's basically what happened. Any thoughts on that panel committee?
I think it's happening far too often. I think it's been happening, but with the internet, it's we see it now. We see it in real time, just like with everything else with the police killings and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just we can put a light on it now. It's the big old spotlight on it. I'm done. Anybody? No?
I'll go.
Charlie?
That is just really scary, you know, like you're supposed to be able to trust these people to do their motherfucking job. Like, I don't know. She handled that really well. I feel like I'd be I'm sure she was very angry, but I feel like I wouldn't know how to necessarily compose myself in that situation because anything could have happened in that situation. Like, you set me up. We are enemies. You set me up.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just wanted to say that that is very scary, and I'm glad that they're safe. And yeah. Anyone else?
Well,
Come on, Governor.
I'm going to say that just what I just said earlier, like what, an hour or so ago. You seen it once, you're seeing it again, and you're gonna see it again. And I'm not saying it don't happen to genomes, but I haven't seen it yet.
Very true. Very true. You know, but like you said, it's their messages for us, right? Their messages for us. Um, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not see that finger. I lied. We're not gonna take a commercial break. We're gonna go to Malika.
It's okay.
My
No,
bad.
it's okay.
I think the
It's
finger I
okay.
think the finger and the wall was kind of blending
Kind of
together. My
low.
bad.
It's kind of low. It's my bad. My fault.
Some little bit of
This actually happened to Ro and I years ago. Something along the lines where we checked into a hotel room, and then as we're sitting there, a little bit after check-in, someone just walked into the room, and Ro pulled his weapon because we travel with it, and we ended up at the front desk, and I say hit them where it hurts. If you still decide that you're going to stay on these properties, honestly, I feel like at this point, lawsuits should be ensued. There should be some form of stress and anxiety where we are suing these hotels. Yes, it's great for it to go viral, but they understand when they lose money. For in our situation, this was so long ago, I didn't even know about trafficking back then, or else it would have been they would have had to give me even more. But they had to upgrade our suite. We ended up being in a more secure location with more amenities. They gave us discounts to a bunch of stuff because you're going to pay me for messing up my vacation. You're going to pay me for putting my life at risk. You're going to pay me. No, sorry. Let me say that the correct way. You're going to pay me for putting their life at risk because if they would have came any closer, they would have been done and done. And Ro wouldn't have even hesitated. I probably would have threw a heel or something, but it would have been a wrap. Um, so I say hit them where it hurts. Hit them where it hurts. Get if you are ever in this situation, I hope that no one isn't, after calling the authorities, getting your report, also make sure that you are reaching out to corporate. Post as many videos as you can. If you're in these situations, share it with your friends because, as Carbon said, it happens a lot. And a lot of parents have a habit of leaving the room and leaving their children in the room sometimes if their children are of like babysitting age. That doesn't stop someone who's grown that gets the swipe at that point, especially if someone at the front desk is watching and they say, hey, they just left the room. Come in now. The kids are in there. I didn't see the kids with them. Same with your house. People watch your house. When you're leaving, switch up your schedule. Leave at different times because when people are watching, they watch for these times and they will enter your house when they know the person who is more in control or would fight back is not present. So just be very careful. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, well, I have a question real quick. Do you think you would have gotten the same result, the accommodations and everything, had Ro not been with you?
I absolutely do. I do all the time.
And there it is. And there it
Quartier
is.
knows let me tell you, if we go somewhere and I don't feel like my people are being treated the way they should be treated, we
Mhm.
might just leave your establishment, but you're going to run us some money. Even when we were in North Florida, we walked out with gift cards and all types of stuff. We're going to call it out.
I
We're
got
going to
free
check you
Uber Eats and all kind of stuff.
every time. Listen, Starbucks done gave Quatita, and I wasn't even with her
No,
then.
can I
They
tell?
done,
Let me please listen. Let
Please,
me.
please.
He's insane. No, for real. Look, Starbucks all over Tennessee was out of white mocha. Okay, she had it in Florida. Malika called Starbucks and told them that her boss usually provides the white mocha frappes to the entire staff, and it's a shame that she could no longer do it. I got a gift card.
What? That's dope. That's dope. I asked the question because I wanted the cousins out there to know that they have that power as well. That's why I asked that question, just in case they don't have spouses or whatever the case may be. And before we take this break, I want to say one more thing. Do not rely on those latches. People that travel alone and just travel in general. I've seen a video to where you can open that latch with two pieces of tape and a rubber band. And with that said, we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I sit, close my eyes, inhale and exhale, and ask myself, what is it within us that makes us give up on our own experiences based on the beliefs of others? How is it that beings, even societies who in so many ways exemplify strength based on societal norms, find comforting ease with going with what is popular presented rather than what is? Why limit self to some when you can have all? I am living my life as it comes to me, aligned with those that I can learn from as they learn from me, those that will not attempt to mold me into the perfect fit for their journey, but rather provide guidance if they sense I am straying from my path. Regardless of who we are or have been within our personal journey, we complement each other within the blessing of the experience that is us. I am living my life in the realization that that which supersedes is my ability to understand that my personal experience and the results of that is what takes precedence when it comes to the formation of my being and my personal belief system. I am aware that my beliefs, those which guide me, may have fact energy within my journey, but should be received as opinion to others, as this ensures that they before any are the grand creators of their journey, as I am of mine. This is the beauty rather than the conflict of difference of opinion, as we were all brought here to play a part, not to please others, but rather to be exactly who we are uniquely for the betterment of self, which then carries over to the betterment of all. Grand Rising.
They say do everything with attention. From my hands to yours. May you receive all the energy and everything you need it to be. Ashe.
All right, y'all, and we are back. We are back. We are back. So, Um, gonna move this thing right along. You good? Uh-oh, she's having technical issues, y'all. We can't hear you. We can see you, but we can't
It
hear
did
you.
not do that. It
You
just
didn't do
started playing
what?
again by itself. Y'all didn't just see that? Jazz's
No.
commercial started playing. Listen,
Not on our
Sirian.
end.
No, absolutely the fuck. Her commercial just started playing again by itself. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, no, not on our end. That's crazy. That's crazy. Say the energy is high, y'all. It's high. Okay, we're gonna move this thing along. So, I got a short little clip. But basically, there are individuals saying there's no sun in Germany and there's no sun in the UK. And y'all know I have the whole tech thing. So okay, we're gonna do the both. Okay, so here we go.
You check the chart, what is going on? So many unclass solar flares heating the earth, and here in Germany and in Europe, there is no sun. Almost every day it's cloudy and it's too cold. And many people already got this question. So why is it so cold? The sun is not coming there. Why are they doing this? Because they try to block the crystalline sun. The crystalline coats heating the earth. They try to block the crystalline sun because the new sun is helping you to activate your DNA. Because I observed the change of the sunlight since 2020, you definitely see a change. The sun is brighter, lighter. Many people say it's white, but it's crystalline, plasmic. They know exactly what's going on, and they use that technology to keep the process as slowly as possible. They want to keep the world as long as possible. The fight for the light.
So yeah, does anybody want to touch on that? Anybody want to have an opinion on that? Come on, come with it. Whoever, jump on in there.
Can you
Huh?
hear me?
Now I can. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, baby, it's Struggle City over there, baby.
But no,
Uh-oh.
I got so excited when you said this because I didn't know what it. Can you hear me?
Yes, you kind of
Can you hear
choppy,
me?
but
Okay.
yeah.
Stop. Let me tell you who that. Okay. I was going to say, I got very excited when I heard you say this because it reminded me of the world reading where I said something about, like, I thought it was going to be dark for like 30 days. Like, I didn't know it wasn't going to be any like sun. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's what this is.
Right. I remember that. I thought it was interesting. She used the word crystalline, plasma, those type of words. I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah. Anybody else want to touch on that? Because if not, I'm going to show this other one.
That that caught my attention too, Carbon, because the crystalline structures. I was just looking up crystalline sun power, and it
Hmm.
seems like solar panels are also made out of this crystalline and microcrystalline power source. So that's really interesting that she mentioned it. And may I just say that video was from Phase One, and Phase One is a friend of mine from my clubhouse days. Faiseone. He is a great follow. He has taught me a lot. And speaking of Sirion, he taught me work with your aura and changing it to certain colors and light energy and how to play with it. So listen, if you get a chance to follow Phase One, gratitude for the information. He always gives it. So that's a great follow to have.
Oh, well, shout out Phase One. All right, all right. Anybody else want to touch on this? No? Okay. So I'm gonna move on to my little second story real quick. And there's a poll. It's a poll for the committee. This is the poll. Should we be talking to animals using AI?
Have you ever wondered what songbirds are actually saying to each other with all of their chirping? or what your cat could possibly be yowling about so early in the morning. Well, powerful new technologies are helping researchers decode animal communication and even begin to talk back to non-humans. Advanced sensors and artificial intelligence might have us at the brink of interspecies communication.
So, yeah, are we supposed to be playing Doctor Doolittle on that level? Charming, you said something earlier. I want you to say that again, because remember it was something about the buttons or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about this before where the one dog, Bunny, and I call him by his name because you can literally Google Bunny the talking dog or whatever and it'll come up. But it reminds me of that pad that they have where you can, each button is a different word and you
Yep.
train the dog to respond to you in words with the buttons. But at one point, this dog was doing this training for I don't really know how many years, but I really feel like it was like 10-ish years. I feel like it's been like 10-ish years since this dog started doing that. Maybe a little less, not sure. But at one point, the dog started asking for its happy pills. So they're giving the fucking dog antidepressants, and the dog's fucking asking for the fucking antidepressants. Sorry, it makes me really crazy. And then it's asking about where its dad is and why it looks different than mom and dad, and saying it's sad, and like all of these things that this human has trained it to feel and say, because dogs don't handle their sadness by going to take medicine. They handle it by going to lay in the sun and going to mope around for a few days, and then they're back to normal. If they need to be fed, they're fed. So it reminds me of that. But it also just feels like this is like every scary AI or technical futuristic movie we've ever seen. Like, why are we doing this?
Right, right. I think it's not. I think genomes don't stop and say just because we can, should we? You know what I'm saying? That is never their thought process. It's like, oh, we can do some shit. Let's just do it. You know?
It's funny you say that because I was talking to Brianna the other day and I was talking about how I've noticed that like in science and in tech, both of them play God. So both of them are in the lab working on shit that doesn't further humanity at all. It just does weird shit and it does cool shit just because they can, not because it helps anybody, but because they are like, wow, we've discovered this robot that can do the oil spill cleanup and show you how terrible and tired it is. Just fucking pay people more. Just do that. Like, so yeah.
Baby, that's too much like right. That is too much
Right.
like right.
Now, what I think
I think,
is, oh, my bad.
go ahead. No. Go
Okay.
ahead. I'll say
What I
it.
think is it's always been introduced to us, like in children's shows and whatnot. It's always been shown to you, like that's always what they wanted to go ahead and gear it and do. If we actually think about it subconsciously, they've always like programmed you to be like, this is already going to be the thing we're telling you. But we've already subconsciously shown you this is how it has to be. But also, if you watch TV shows like Dexter's Laboratory and everything, where it was the monkey and then the one lady, and they were telepathically having that moment. I also feel they're doing it because they know certain people can tap in and have that wild Thornberry's experience, and they cannot. They can't tap in and do that because I can sit here and say human words to my little doggy that's here right now, and she understands and she comprehends, and we have that. We look at each other. We know it's telepathic. It's kind of like you feel me, I feel you. They can't do that. They have to go over and extend because why else can I not gain control on this? Like someone else can. I don't know how to gather that kind of control without putting technology within it. That's how I was taking it, though. I feel like it can be very toxic, but I also think it's not necessary either because we can already do that. We're just on one certain plethora where we're still stuck on learning what we can do, which is what we can do, that we can talk to cuckoosas.
All right, all right. Come on, Miss Quatita.
Um, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm gonna tell you why. You too, Malika. I'm on the fence
Yeah.
because I often see animals and I'd be like, oh my God, they can't tell you if they have a headache or they can't tell you if they're hurting or what's bothering inside the body. So how I'm on the fence because of that. If it could help them in a medical sense, then I'm all for it. But I'm on the fence.
Come on, Lee.
I feel like humans suck, and dogs never get a chance to express it for the human to hear it. And I also want to know what Sage and Lola be trying to say to Quatiter. Because when Quatiter is here, Lola will sit right on the couch and just be staring at her. And she stays wherever she goes and she's just looking. And the same every time I'm on the phone with Quatita, Sage gets to conversing. And I just want to know, what are you saying? What are you saying? So I would probably use it for a day and then send it back for my money.
A
That's all.
lot of dogs and cats come and sit at my feet. Like when I was just in Seattle, the lady's dog just come and just she was like, "What the fuck is going on? Why does he keep sitting at your feet?" Like, I don't know. Cats and dogs do it. I've had a cat climb right on top of me and just look me in my eyes doing like this, like just stepping on me, just looking at me like, please get your cat, ma'am. So I don't know. I'm on the
Just
fence
all on your
about this
titties and
shit.
your eyes, just like that. Just, hey,
You know
lady,
what I
how you
mean?
doing?
Hey, cushion.
I agree with you though. If we could use it in a humanitarian type of way, that would be really good. But I also know they
Yeah.
would never really want it to get that way, humanitarian wise. They would want it to be more Planet of the Apes because they wouldn't want us to know what they're really doing to them because they do so much animal testing and whatnot. And I think they wouldn't want those type of secrets to come out. So they'd have to program them with certain type of AI as well. Programming is going to be like one of the biggest things though, if they do certain things like that.
Well, I don't think though that program would be accessible to the prisoners of the labs. You know what I'm
You
saying? If
never
you think
know. There's
about,
always that one that can always breach through. You saw Planet of the Apes.
very
He was
true,
able,
very
willing.
true,
There's
very
some.
true, and they got that shit from somewhere. So, uh huh, absolutely. Anybody else want to touch on this? No. Okay. Well, in that case, let's move this thing right along. Miss Quatita, my house, but I didn't buy it.
Yes. Okay. First of all, my daughter texted me just a confirmation. My baby's pregnant. Let me just say that. My baby is pregnant. And she just texted me again, like confirmation again. So
Hey,
yeah, she is pregnant. I'm very excited. I've been trying to get her pregnant for a year now. Let me in it. My baby pregnant. I'm being
you you
grandma. So
you've been
I'm so
calling it for
excited.
2 years. 2 years. It finally happened.
Okay, I was
Good.
baby.
Congratulations, Toddy. Uh
Hold
oh.
on. Okay.
Oh, I thought you froze
So
again.
there is this girl. There was this. I'm trying to find the video, you guys. I posted it. I'm just gonna make sure real quick because it's like 5 different parts, but I'm only gonna show you this one. Um, oh, let me put me up here. I gotta be up here. Let me show you this one. Now, there's this girl, her and her boyfriend, they boyfriends, they not even married yet. But this is why you should not share bank accounts with people either that you're not with. I can't even find a fucking video. Can you look for it real quick for me, Carbon? So she is pissed because he pull up to this house and he says, "You seen that?" He's like, "This is our house." She like, "What do you mean? This ain't our house. I don't even like this house." And he's like, "Why are you complaining?" Now, everybody has attacked this woman and said she was ungrateful. First of all, they're not married. Second of all, I feel like everybody missed the point of what she said. She kept repeating, she said, "I don't like this. Why would you spend my money?" Somebody even went as far as to say, well, maybe she needs to go back to sleeping on her mama's couch. First of all, she's a business owner. She's a business owner. Who the fuck ever said that she was a broke, black, degenerate ass woman? Who said that? So he kept saying, "This is our house." And the man kept saying, "You can't get your money back." She said, this was my money. You did not have the right to spend my money. He said, some of it's mine. She said, 75% of the money is my money. I put that money in. You got it, Carmen? Okay, I'm going to.
Wrong. What do you mean you don't like this house? Ain't that wrong?
Yep, I got you. Here we go. Oh, hell. Oh, diggity dog, damn. Okay, here we go.
Ain't that wrong with this? What do you mean you don't like this house? Ain't that wrong with this house? Ain't that wrong? Look at this house. This house is perfect. It's paid for, mortgage. It ain't no rent. Okay, so what's wrong with the house? Ain't nothing wrong with this house. All right, we just looked at it. Okay, we looked at it. Calm down. Who in here? Calm down. What? I don't care. Hey, bro. She tripping on my house, bro. No. I don't know what's going on. Calm down. It's professional. Professional? You spent my money. No, chill out. Okay, tell me what you like about that. What don't you like? Let's go upstairs. This house is perfect. Look. Yeah, this house is perfect. What is it? It ain't rent. It's mortgage. We got a mortgage now. Where's the other part to shower? The shower? Where's the other part? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Dude, that's a nice shower. That's a bathroom. It's wrong? Look. But ain't nothing wrong with this. What do you mean you don't like this house?
I hate the house. First of all, can I say I hate the house? It needs updates, okay? And it was her money. And she kept saying, why would you spend my money without consulting me? You didn't ask me. We didn't pick the house together. You did this. What do y'all think? Because people attacked this lady and talked about her like she wasn't shit. And it was her money. You can't just spend Quatita's money. I'm going to fuck you up.
Come on, Aubrey.
Come on, Obs.
Listen, the whole situation bothered me because why are you sitting here telling her to be professional about her motherfucking money? See, this is what y'all been talking about. This whole, we gonna try to make black women the worst people in the fucking world because this is what they do. You stole from her.
You stole from her. You didn't tell her to be grateful.
From her. And you're telling her to calm the fuck down.
No,
because you bought a house that this realtor was trying to get the fuck rid of, and ain't nobody else buying because it needed updates. Girl, no. You saw all of this coin in this account, and you see, how did y'all even get in the point of
joining? Sure he had a place to live, Aubrey.
Yes. Yeah, this is the bathroom. What? With these tiles on the floor?
Because you should see the tiles, bitch.
Girl, what is this basket wood thing behind the door? And where is the tub at? Girl, there are so many. Listen, where is she at, honey? Because if we need to go get your money back, sis, let's go get your money back. Because at this point, why?
And they're not married. You're not married.
And I feel like he was on social media and on Instagram and watching the podcast a little bit too much of the men's that be talking about mortgages, because it was him saying it's not rent, it's a mortgage. I don't give. What are you saying this for? Like, what is that adding? It's not rent, it's a mortgage. He said it 3 times. 3 times too many, because that's not the point. If it was a rent, it would still be a problem. You know, if it was a rental, it'd still be an issue. So obviously he was wrong. This reminds me of the talk of when the man proposes to the girl and the girl says no. And everybody's like, oh, she embarrassed him and stuff like that. And in reality, 2 adults talk about if you want to be married before you go and decide we're going to be married. Like, it's supposed to be like a nice surprise, but it's also supposed to be something that was mutually agreed upon, the same as a house, especially when, like, he really thought that he had control over the money because 25% of it was his. Like, somebody fix it. Somebody fix it. I hope she got a good lawyer, because That's his house now, and he owe her all that money
And listen,
back.
house is a big purchase. So if and you're not married, that's something you talk about. That's something you have a discussion about. A mortgage is no joke. So he want to brag about a mortgage and ain't being rich. A mortgage is no joke. That you gotta. It's all kind of it if you can afford it. You know, loans and stuff like that goes into it's contracts being signed. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like that was something that should have been discussed prior to you just showing her the house and then making her look bad. Because I had a feeling he knew that she wouldn't like this house. You know what I'm saying? So let's go live. Let's get some clout off of it because look what I can do, and you should be grateful that I got you this. And even though it's your money, be grateful. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I can't get with it. That's messed up. Like, and it's her fucking money at the end of the day. Yeah.
It's giving unbelievable to me. I don't know. It might just be me. But it's giving unbelievable. It's giving let's get real popular on Instagram. At the end of the day, um, you know, bad press is good press. The body looks like a business is had. The numbers will be collected. There will be those that flood in to support her, like sis, he should have never did that. It's giving that to me because especially if she's saving that type of coin, she's not lost. And a woman who's saving that type of coin and has herself together the way that she does, it's nothing to tell your realtor, stand here, we're going to do a skit real quick. So I don't know. I mean, I have questions. Are they still together? Um, is this the first time he showed up like this? Because
I
if you are
think
bold
it's
enough,
real. What do you think, Malik? You think it's fake? You
I
think it's real?
I feel like it's giving unbelievable. Like I don't want to believe it. I think
I
that's
feel
what
like
it
she
is
didn't want to believe it.
because at the end of the day, both would
Yeah.
have to sit down and sign a contract before the keys are even handed over. So that means that the house isn't even in her name, it's in his name. So she
Exactly.
It's in
already
his
would
name.
be in the knowing, right? She would already be in the knowing that okay, well, you're gonna live here and I'm gonna take you to court and you're gonna pay me back this money for your beautiful new house. You could
She
tell
kept
by the
saying
way
that.
she
She
is
said, "Give me my money back, or I'm gonna call the police." That's on the fifth one. She kept saying, "I'm gonna call the police. Give me my money back." The realtor kept saying, "You can't get the money back." Like
listen,
I'm trying to
it's
figure out when do they just do that? How long was this in? Because you got to close, you got to do
Yeah.
all this.
Both underwrite. You
But
gotta go.
how does without being married, and this is what I'm not getting, right? Because he needs to be boxed up by every man on the block at the end of the day. What I'm not getting is with being in such a business mindset, because saving that much is not easy. And even looking at her shape and the work that she's had done, that's a woman who's about her coin. How do you
Yeah,
have a shared bank account in that mindset? How do you have a shared bank account with a man who's obviously not showing up as your equivalent? And you know what this takes me to? This takes me to the whole bus driver conversation that Iyanla had with that lady, and she answered, and everybody was upset with her about her answer. Like, you're not matching. I can't trust you being a Ro would have been pissed off at me if I would have made a move like that. Like you gotta know who you're with. He's a scoundrel. He is scum. He is a thief. He is all of those things. And I just have questions like I want to give her a hug, first of all.
I
And
got
then I want to
something
see if he's
to
still in the
say about
house.
what you just said.
Mhm.
Because you just made me think. Because you said, why would she be with him, right? You know me because he's not her equivalent, obviously, because she said 75% of this money that you just spent is my money. Okay. So then it immediately made me think about the conversation, Malika, that I just had earlier that we've been having about Melanite women. Because first of all, he may be also younger than her. I don't know. But my thought is this. I see Carpen's like, where are you going with this? My thought is this. Sometimes, even when you have a bad bitch, right? We hold on to the worst motherfuckers because we are used to not being valued. Okay. And the cosmetic surgery sometimes can say that. Not always, but sometimes it can say that. And so when you have a person, because he's probably nice looking, you know what I'm saying? And he probably attaches himself to her because she is valuable to him, that she would have that kind of money to put down on a house. So if he is attaching himself to her, sometimes I have to say it, shoot the messenger, if you will. We get happy as melanite women to have a man. We're never chosen. Come on, Malika.
So when I was saying equivalent, I was even more focused on the fact that he thinks this is okay and she knows that it's not. That, like, on a mental state, aside from finances, right? He's not meeting you where you are. And everything you said just now is so on point, because it goes back to that bar and where the bar is, and thinking you're doing a great job and your bar is high, but no, your bar started superbly low. So it's only mediocre now. Yes, it's raised, but it's not high to where it needs to be, because this, if you guys are, she said this is one of the houses they had looked at. I believe that that's what I heard. So they had been house shopping. I think that's what I heard her say. Like, yes, we looked at this house. So they had been house shopping. That's why my question is, has he never shown up like this before? And what Quatita is saying is so important, because when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them, and know that if it's something small, it may be something small like you asking him to get you a certain food and instead he says, we're going to get what I want. Or any small thing like that. Those are the little behaviors that you look for, because those, once you're like upset for a little bit, but you get over it, even if you're upset, but you get over it and you keep just getting over it every time he displays this behavior, eventually it turns into this type of situation. More than likely something at this level, and he's going to know there's no repercussion, because you have taught him through you accepting his excuses for how he's been showing up to you, and accepting it into your life and every day, and accepting him inside of you, your most sacred portal. With you doing that acceptance, he's going to think it's going to be the same thing all over again. And that's my question also. I wonder if they're still together. That would be interesting.
Before we take our break, I'm going to say this. I'm going to rebuttal to what you said, because I saw a video on YouTube of this black lady. She makes these all the time about how she asks her husband for things, because if she asked him for this purse or she wanted to do something, he said, I need you to cook my food tonight. Like, she makes it seem like exactly like it's the woman's job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is so bothering to me. So she was like, I asked him for a purse and he told me he wanted burgers tonight. So I decided I'm going to make him hamburger helper. First of all, that's not what the fuck he asked for. Second of all, why did you have to cook his dinner in order for you to get something? Are you the maid? Because I seen another video where the Melanite girl was standing in the kitchen. She was eating her pizza. First of all, he came in. He said, I've been working 13 hours. You ain't cooked nothing. He said, you work from home. Exactly, bitch. She works. The fuck? He said, what did I marry you for? I don't know. You should have married Consuelo. The fuck are we talking about? What do you mean that's why? Then why did you marry her? She said, your shit is clean. I clean your house. I cook when I want to. Like, huh?
I love you bringing that up before we go on break, because it makes you think of the construct of what is in some people's form. What does marriage constitute for you as a woman? Because it's showing that there are levels to, you feel like you are subjective to be this and be that for that person because you are married, you're locked down, you got that ring. But does that really make you feel like you have to be lesser than? There's never no equal. There's not an equal limit. And this hits home for me. That's why I can say that. There's never that moment where there are some marriages that actually have that beautiful medium, but a lot of them, they're just doing it because they got the certificate and they walk down that aisle. Yes, Malika. They walk down that aisle.
I was just about to say, Ro knows better and I know better too, especially now that we back in Florida. We make it very clear to each other. And I will say vice versa anytime I bring this up. My mama house is right up the block. We always have somewhere to sleep. This access to this, you have to be in your highest, and vice versa. If you are not giving me your best, or I am not giving you my best, that means that there is something wrong. And if we're not going to correct it, we are not going to linger in it, not with my children present, because how dare we ever train them to be. So when you said that, I laughed because we consistently remind each other that to be in each other's presence is a privilege, one that is not owed to either one of us by each other. Like, you have to be on the up and up. You have to know that this person is not yours forever. And even, there's so much to, like, this is a great topic. There's so much to this, but I know we got to go to commercial break, so I'm gonna cut it there. But run, find something. The book.
Yeah.
All right, love you.
She
Is
was
there a
dogged out too. She was
continuation
dogged
after
out too.
break?
They dogged her the fuck out. What'd you say,
Yeah,
Ivory?
who said
Is
what
there
now?
a small continuation after break? Because
Absolutely, we can.
girl,
I don't mind.
yes.
Okay, yeah, we can pick this right up when we come back. Yeah, because I got something to say too. So we'll be right back after this words from our sponsors.
Powerful, captivating, indulgent, riveting. You hear the rumble of the earth. High councils, affirmations, oracle, and tarot deck. Available for pre-sale now. Only on www.awalkwiththeancestors.com.
All right, y'all, and we back. Hey, Malika, I wanted to say kind of piggyback off what you said. I think because you didn't come up in religion, so whether it was on a conscious level or subconscious level, you wasn't hearing as a woman, uh, wives submit to your husbands, wives submit to your husbands, wives submit to your husband. That's where that shit comes from.
I submit
So
to
I
I'm
slap
will
the
done.
fuck
say
out of
that
you.
what I will what I will say is that I had grandmothers that did my whole life though. But then
Mm,
my father and my mother always pointed out to me the reality of the relationship versus what the expectation was being set to be. And so because of my parents, I feel like no matter what the dynamic is that you are in that is creating this brainwashing effect, when you have elders directly around you, my mother and my father supporting me, my older brother taking me on his little journeys with his homeboys and giving me the same lessons, that it can end at any time and you still gonna be straight, and we still got you. A lot of children out here don't even know if their parents still gonna let them be in the house when they're 18. We saw the young girl who was adopted that the people dropped her off in Atlanta. We're like, where do you want to go if you could pick one place? And just dropped her off there. And I think with not feeling like you have anyone else, you put yourself in certain circumstances because you don't feel like you have an escape outside of this horrible situation that you're in. And so I completely get that, Carbon. I give gratitude that I had them to, and I do the same for my children. I let them know. Even in times where Ro and I were rocky, we made it very clear. I would make it very clear to my children, not in a disrespectful way. And see, that's the difference. That's why I add the vice versa. Because you got
mm.
ladies, always when you telling your man, you always gotta add the vice versa. If I'm not showing up to you as best as I can, let me know that too, because you don't deserve to go through that either. So yeah, but gratitude, Carbon, you're right.
Yeah,
What
no
does
worries, no worries.
submitting mean? What does that mean? Like, I know what the word means, but what does that mean? Like, does that mean I have to do what you tell me? Like, what the fuck does that mean?
In that world, you do what the hell you're told. In that world, that's what that means.
It's a
Y'all know
very
that this stems
generic
from
label.
religion, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Submitting
I
to
missed
your
something.
master.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
stems from religion.
Yeah. I was gonna
Hmm.
say the word submitting is a little interesting because when you have submitting, you have domination. Like, that's I just feel like that's not an appropriate word for every form of relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't consider Malika's relationship a submitting domination relationship because they have
It depends
equal
on what
expect.
the
I
situation.
mean,
It depends.
on a normal time, outside of the when you have the cameras and you said it was a whole show, outside of that.
She says if it's
But
poom
yes,
poom time, I'm just saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Outside of that, I wouldn't consider it that because there is a equal respect, and I just don't feel like submitting always. Like, I want to have my way at all times, but I can also let you have your way at all times. I feel like submitting is like you can't have your way sometimes, and I'm like, we're gonna have to talk about that. Like let's compromise.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
yeah, it's my
Charmaine.
turn.
Yeah, keep it rolling, baby.
Right? Yeah, look at that. Right in time. So today we gonna just talk a little bit about turmeric, cayenne, and black pepper. I was like, should I keep it simple or should I go into all the science words? We're gonna go into the science words. Let me get my little notebook. So, for quite a few years, I have been using turmeric and black pepper and honey as like a immune system supplement booster. So on the blog there's going to be a link to my blog, and on the bottom of it, that little miniature blog that has like information about turmeric and black pepper, there's going to be a recipe. So before that, basically I'm going to get into why turmeric and black pepper actually work in conjunction with each other and why you need both of them in order for them to work. So let me put my little thing right here. So turmeric is a golden root, literally and figuratively, according to the NCCIH. In India, turmeric was traditionally used for disorders of the skin, upper respiratory tract, joints, and digestive system. Grab your handy dandy notebook. I used to watch Blue's Clues all the time. Today, turmeric is promoted as a dietary supplement for a variety of conditions, including arthritis, digestive disorders, respiratory infections, allergies, liver disease, depression, and many others. So, curcuminoids in turmeric contribute to a lot of medicinal properties. So, here's this fun science words. What is a curcuminoid? I did not write down the all three names because it's like dimethyl something something. And I was like, they don't really care about that. The most important curcuminoid that you find in turmeric is curcumin. It makes up 77% of the content of turmeric. So that's basically like the most medicine. The other stuff is obviously important, but we're just talking about this for now. So curcumin is in turmeric, and it's known for not having a high bioavailability in humans and animals. It helps with management of oxidative and inflammatory conditions. I'll be honest, I don't really know what an oxidative condition is. Maybe y'all might know. Um, it helps with metabolic syndromes, arthritis, anxiety, hyperlipidemia, and it's also known to be anti-convulsive, which I'm sure you guys know helps with seizures or um, muscle spasms and stuff like that. So I found an article called "How Turmeric is Sort of Like Cannabis." Um, I literally just took like one little section, but if you guys want to Google that, it was very sciencey. So basically, they found that turmeric oil is composed of turmerone and adlantone. So I tried to look up that one, but I couldn't really find much um, on adlantone. So I think the name is really interesting. But it found that the turmeric oil itself composed of turmerone and adlantone and also contained anticonvulsant properties. So basically, it's similar to cannabis because cannabis is anticonvulsant, anti-cancer, stuff like that. So curcumin still talking about curcumin, which is considered a terpene, also or holds anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer, antiseptic, antiplasmodial, astringent, digestive, diuretic, and many other properties. So I wanted to look up antiplasmodial to see what that means, and apparently that is a phrase that means it counters parasites of the genus Plasmodium. And I guess those are parasites that cause malaria. And I guess there's 100 types of them. I don't think we're really worried about malaria, but that was interesting. So next, black pepper itself. Now we're talking about black pepper. Curcumin is in turmeric. Now we're talking about black pepper. Black pepper itself is a powerful supplement containing the alkaloid piperin. Black pepper becomes anti-inflammatory and antioxidant and a mild analgesic, etc. So I looked up alkaloid for you. It is a naturally occurring compound that has a noticeable effect on humans. That's kind of how I took it. So coffee with caffeine. Caffeine is an alkaloid. One they use is like cocaine. That's an alkaloid that gives you that intoxicates you. And then there's some that are like literally that can be toxic to you. So alkaloids can also be toxic. We do have a lot of them in our food, so it's not like something you have to really worry about in your food. But you know, so now we're going to piperin. Piperin is the alkaloid in black pepper. So it is antioxidant, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, anti-hypertensive, and hepatoprotective. And what that means is it protects against damage to the liver. It's neuroprotective and enhancing bioavailability and fertility related activities. So essentially, the lesson here is that when you can use turmeric and black pepper as daily supplements, they have them like bottled and in capsules and stuff, but you can make your own. You can if you dry the turmeric and grind it up like in a blender with a high enough setting, you can powder it and put in your own capsules. But I've seen a lot of people say they use turmeric a lot, but you really have to use black pepper with it because turmeric it doesn't absorb into your body as much without the piperin. So you need the piperin to be able to absorb the curcumin into your body and get those medicinal benefits. So go ahead, Carb.
Oh no, I was gonna say that the first time you said it, I thought I was tripping. Like, there's an ingredient called pimping. What? But you repeated it, so I got it now. I'm slow.
Piperin. So it's not, I mean, you guys don't necessarily need to know like these words in order to use it, but it's good for you guys to be able to do the research. We all about digging deeper and all that stuff. So I forgot to read the last sentence. It says, in addition, piperin helps your body to absorb nutrients like iron and beta carotene. So when mixed with turmeric, piperin assists in curcumin absorption, which allows for maximum nutrient absorption. So you basically want to add black pepper and a little bit of everything because it helps absorb a lot of different nutrients throughout the different foods that may not be fully bioavailable. I think I just want to read the recipe really quick because it's honestly really easy, really quick. And like I said, you guys can also go into the blog. She should be adding it. So basically, I call it the golden honey recipe. It's turmeric, honey, and black pepper. So get a little jar, get you some manuka or raw honey. You can use regular honey if you really can't get the manuka, because I know manuka is expensive, or raw honey. And definitely try to get local honey to your area, because when you get local honey, it actually has the pollen and it has all of the stuff from your area that helps your body to kind of resist it and stuff like that. So get a jar, get some honey, powdered turmeric, black pepper. What I do is I fill the jar up. Honestly, I just eyeball it. I don't even use the exact recipe, but I use like a 3-to-1 recipe with turmeric and black pepper. So basically, if you do 3 tablespoons of turmeric into your honey, you do 1 tablespoon of black pepper into your honey, mix it up. You could spoonful it every day. If you have a cold, if you're like got some sniffles and stuff, I suggest spoonfuling it every hour. I like it in fruity tea. It tastes really good in fruity tea. Other than that, it kind of tastes like turmeric. Um, but you something you get used to. It's not, once you keep taking it, you'll get used to it. The texture may be a little funny. It kind of turns fluffy when you mix it together. So anyways, yes, that's the golden honey recipe. Keep going, take it for your immune system, get, stay, keep yourself anti-inflammatory, and yeah, add it to your regimen.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Okay, two questions actually, Charming. So the regimen that you just gave, you said you could put it in like natural juices, or like if you juice, you could put it in there, or
I think you can. But it's thick, it's honey, so I put it in tea because it will melt the honey and it dilutes it and it kind of distributes it evenly. If you want to, if you want to put your jar in hot water to like double boil it and loosen the honey that way, then you might be able to add it to your drink so it could stay loose and diluted. But you really just got to play with it. You definitely could probably add it to your smoothies, because it'll definitely mix around and stuff like that in your smoothies. But I use it with
okay,
hot because it'll dilute. Yeah.
because
And
I'm out
turmeric,
of my honey and I had raw honey. So you're right. I like the
mhm,
raw honey.
yes, raw honey is good. I think it's because I don't know. I really truly don't know the difference between Manuka and raw, like the process or anything like that. But I do think either of them would be acceptable. Like I said, local honey from your area really will help with how you handle your, the pollen and the environment. So
Okay, so my other
class with
question is
Tommy
this.
T. Oh, good.
Someone had me, and I do it, but I don't know all of the benefits of it. And I brought it up, I think, last night, but where you take the baking soda and room temperature water with some lemon and you drink it down first thing in the morning,
Mhm.
and it will help your digestive system. But I don't know all of the benefits of it. Like, do you know the benefits of it?
I could see why, because the baking soda, but I okay, I watched this thing where basically it was talking about the pH of water, and one of the waters had sodium bicarbonate in it. And so basically its pH was really high, but it was kind of like a what is it? Like a fake. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but it's kind of like a fake high pH. So I guess now I'm kind of tiptoeing around using baking soda for things that to digest and to ingest, because I feel like it might raise the pH and help, but I feel like there's probably something else than baking soda. And I guess I wonder how often you would take that too.
I don't take it very often. Like it's really like if I feel like my digestive needs it, or if I'm like I want to like cleanse out, I'll
Yeah.
do it then. But it's very rare. But I will do it.
Yeah, I feel like maybe one, like every once in a while is not so bad, but like I said, I guess I'm concerned about baking soda's authenticity of health. Like if it's one of those things that's like a quick fix, it's like a chemical quick fix that we're used to. So other than that, oh, I meant to tell you, Brianna was drinking, she told me to tell you too. She was drinking coriander tea and limes in hot water for a couple weeks, and she noticed a big difference in slimming down and stuff like that, and she wanted me to pass that on to you so you could try coriander tea as well with the limes. So
Okay,
yeah.
gratitude, Brianna.
Hey, I was gonna say, baking soda, the whole baking soda water thing, like cause I do it sometimes, and it's good for like you said, digestive issues. If your tummy's upset, help could like for that kind of situation. I also know, it's supposed to help reset your pH balance for the ladies, if you know what I mean. If you're off.
Bitches gonna
Um,
be gargling it. I'm telling you.
yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to throw those little few tidbits
Yeah,
out there
put
as well
lemon
about
in
the
it.
baking soda.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Come on, Leaks.
I just wanted to say gratitude for this information. My brother, when he got the Coda Gavitiga, within 3 days, he was able to he was able to remove it from his system. The first time around when I had it, I used this also, but the second time around I didn't. And the first time it only took 3 days. This last time I lost smell and everything. It lasted for weeks, and I really should have implemented it. I waited too late to implement it. There were a few things that he added also. which he uses the Manuka honey, but he said it has to be over a 400 because that's when it's considered medicinal grade Manuka honey. The one he recommends is the Manuka honey UMF 24 plus slash MGO 1122 plus UMF certified. What he did was he took the Manuka honey, added grated garlic, ginger, and turmeric, and then he put in the text, then I added black pepper and cayenne pepper because your body won't absorb the curcumin and turmeric without piperine that's found in the pepper, just as Charming taught. Mix it well, keep it in the fridge. Upon rising, take a tablespoon as a shot with warm water, or you can blend it with orange juice and have it in a cup of orange juice daily. He also took elderberry and didn't eat any meat products or any meat at all. He only had fruits and dark greens. And no matter how tired he was, he went out in the sun for at least 30 minutes. He also recommended adding to that regimen sea moss with spirulina, fresh aloe plant, and chlorella, and add fruits and veggies. And you can also spoon the golden honey recipe up in there and blend it and make it a little something, something. So gratitude, Charming.
Dope, 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 dope. Gratitude, Charming, for the wonderful class and all the wonderful
Wait,
details.
Jose.
Oh, who? I didn't. I missed a finger. Whose finger? Go finger. Talk finger. I'm sorry,
I
Jose.
just want to throw a quick one out there for people that are trying to cure anything for HIV or any symptoms. There's also black seed oil and raw honey. If you do that, go ahead and do that. It also is for the gays. If you're doing the whole PrEP thing, get off of that stuff and try to like get your body bounce back and heal with black seed oil and raw honey. See how that makes you feel a lot better. But right now, we're going to go ahead and game it on.
No, I was just saying for educational purposes only.
Yes,
I put it up
for
at the bottom.
educational purposes. Yes. I should have started with that. Disclaimer.
This
That's okay.
this
This
I
is
forget.
all for educational purposes only.
this
No doubt.
information that is provided is not meant to replace the information that is provided to you by your physician.
Okay.
Please ensure before you make any changes to your medical situations that you speak with your physician first about any new additions to your medical regime. Charby, you wanted to bring me back in?
Gratitude. You know what? I think we should just go and take a commercial break real quick, our last commercial break. That way you can go in and do your thing. You ain't got to worry about it. So we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors, y'all.
Okay, give me a second. You was fast.
I know, right? I wasn't ready.
They say do everything with attention. From my hands to yours, may you receive all the energy and everything you need it to be. Ashe.
Whoever said that everything that glitters isn't gold never met goddesses. When my mind and heart feel led astray, or even on a gloomy day, when negative energies come my way, return to sender with one spray. With intention, I will mist, ensuring protection, peace, and bliss. From the north, south, east, and west, Goddessence makes me feel my best. Goddessence Calming Protection Mist, available now at www.grandrising.com.
My name is Quatita Dean, and I am the ancestral.
Oh, shit. My bad, y'all. Greetings, we're back.
I was trying to play another one in.
No worries. Okay, so we're going to get into the mayhem of it all with Malika. Come on, Malika.
Greetings and Grand Rising panel and committee. On tonight's Corner of Crime, we are headed to the location of Dayton, Ohio. At 5:26 p.m. on June 22nd, 2022, 31-year-old Aisha Nelson called 911 saying her boyfriend, Waverly Hawes, who went by Dante, threatened to unalive her. The dispatcher told her to visit the nearest police station and gave her the address for a local shelter. It wasn't until after 12 a.m. that they heard back from Aisha. June 23rd, 2022, 12:04 a.m., she called again to ask if an officer could meet her at the local Family Dollar. She stated she did not want him arrested, speaking about Dante. Instead, she just wanted a report because she was going to protect herself if she had to. She asked that they do not come to the house because she did not want to aggravate the situation. Aisha Nelson, her 6-year-old daughter Harper Monroe, and her boyfriend Dante House, and his 9-year-old daughter all lived together. They lived in his house, which I believe was owned by his father, as his father owned many houses on the block. They moved in after meeting while Aisha was in the Navy. Once moving in together, they consistently argued, and fast forward to June 22nd, these arguments escalated to her unaliving. After requesting to be met at the Family Dollar, she called back again. After seeing police rushing to another scene, the dispatcher said that there was a shortage in the amount of officers available, and he couldn't give her an exact time when they would be arriving there to meet her. She said she was going to go back home and that she would file a report the next rising, which unfortunately never came for her. She asked if an officer could call her when they were available, but requested they did not come to the house because she didn't want to start any problems. Dante actually ended up calling the police because he called his father over to the house, and his father said he kept telling her he wanted her to get out. He wanted her to get out. And he was being very violent within this get out situation. Called his father over, and his father said, just call the police and have them remove her. So he was not aware that she was already in communication with the police for the day. He ends up calling the police. Um, One moment. Okay. He told the police that Aisha was messing up his house and he just wanted her to be put out. They came to the house, which is where body cam footage was captured, with each detailing what was happening. Aisha came out at first, and then silence ensued when Dante came to the door and said that he had called and that she locked him in the basement. The officers then separated the two. Officer Moore took him inside the house, and Officer Santos stayed out. A female officer stayed outside with her. Aisha began explaining that the night before she initially called, she was in the shower when Dante broke down the door. She says he then went and got her weapon out of the closet, and they began arguing about ownership of the weapon when he told her to get out, and she stated she wasn't going anywhere. He then asked, are you really willing to lose your life over a pow pow? As well as calling her out of her name and telling her he would unalive her, as well as he would have his sister come and beat her up because they were local to the area. Aisha was actually from New Jersey, so she didn't have anyone in the area with her. She stated that he also said, either you get out or you have to deal with the alternative. She exclaimed she would not be leaving because he cut up her credit cards and she had nowhere to go. Their daughters were present for the entire scene, all of the altercations that had happened within this 48-hour period. She also stated he's repeatedly said he would unalive her in front of her daughter with the gun in his possession. She didn't want to take the threat seriously, in her words, because they had been friends for so long. However, she did a little bit because he beat his ex-girlfriend and currently had charges for domestic violence. When asked by the police if she wanted to stay there, she stated, I pay rent here. I do want to stay here. I just want to be here in peace. She told the cops he needs to go because she pays the rent and he should be removed. His father owned multiple properties on the same block, and she was unsure why he couldn't go to any of those houses. The police officers requested that she leave, as that's what they would do in this situation if they felt unsafe. She abruptly stated that is not an option because she pays rent and there was nowhere to go because he withdrew all the money out of her account and cut up her credit cards. Even in the heat of the conversation, she still proclaimed she didn't want to bring any legal issues to him and didn't want to set him up in the system because it would be detrimental to him with the case that he already had. The officer stepped aside after telling Dante to sleep in the basement. Quote, she obviously doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe it. If she did, she wouldn't be in the house with her daughter, said Officer Santos. They discussed with each other that she didn't want to leave, so there wasn't much more they could do, and they left without removing the weapon from the home. An hour after they left, Dante unalived Aisha and her daughter, then called his father and told his father that he unalived them. That is when his father called the police and asked for a wellness check. When police arrived, they found Aisha and her daughter unalived in the basement. After investigating, they found the turmoil began over an argument about his PlayStation and a PlayStation competition, and him not meeting expectations in life because he's always playing on his PlayStation. Dante's body was actually found in a vehicle in Alabama within that same day, unalive from a self inflicted gunshot wound. Aisha Nelson's family is now being represented by a legal team comprised of Michael Wright and Robert Gresham of Wright and Schultz LLC, who have filed a complaint against the city of Dayton and Dayton Police Department. The police officers, Santos and Moore, were placed on administrative leave. There was no report or written statements made. There were domestic violence policies in place, but according to the lawyer, these policies were not followed by these officers. This is Malika signing out from Where the Hell I Want to Be. And now back to you, Carbon.
I like that. That was dope. That's insane, Malika. All of that is insane. What?
Thoughts?
It's
So much.
somebody. Come on, Miss
Of
Governess.
course I do. I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
I'll come
But
back around at
No.
the end.
okay. So I originally brought this up to Malika because it was so disturbing me, and I know how she loves true crime, but it was disturbing to me because when you go to the story and you see the comments, the chat blamed her. I don't know what was missed. First of all, she purchased the gun because his daughter had been in danger, and she bought the gun to protect his 9-year-old daughter, who now was living in the house because there had been a drive-by where they were trying to kill his brother. So she purchased the weapon to protect the daughter because the daughter was in the house at the time. Her daughter was still gone. The 6-year-old, she hadn't even moved in yet. Her daughter at the time of her unaliving had just come in for the summer and was staying there then. Okay. And so she had her daughter there. Again, Aisha was from New Jersey. And when she tried to leave, again, he cut up all of her debit cards and then told her to get out. So she could not even purchase a hotel room. That's when she said, fine, I'm not going no fucking where because I've already paid the rent here. So the officer said, but this is his family house. He owned a lot of house. She said, exactly. So why can't he just go to another house for tonight? Why? Because she says Dante was drinking. And she had not seen him like this before. But she knew that he had a previous situation with the previous girlfriend. He didn't just kill Aisha, he murdered, unalived her and her 6-year-old daughter, then turned around and unalived himself. There, all the comments said she was to blame because she got her and her daughter unalived because she knew. She did not fucking know. They were friends for years before any of this. And why the fuck? What was she supposed to do? Again, she had her 6-year-old daughter go sleep in a car with her 6-year-old daughter. She had no money. Who said she had gas in her car? Why didn't the police take the weapon? The father should have stepped in, of course, yes.
Absolutely.
And he unalived them in front of his daughter. Let's say that.
Right.
And then dropped his daughter off at one of his dad's houses that I believe some people were staying in, and then went to Alabama.
You know what killed me, Malika? The father tried to act like he didn't know. Dante had called his daddy and told him, I killed both of them. So then his father said, I called the police for a wellness check because I went over there and I didn't hear nothing. And so I didn't want to go in, or I stepped out the house because I was just trying to figure out what was going on. You knew what was going on because your son called and told you what he did.
Mm-hmm. So wouldn't that make him an accessory? No, it was just a question. Wouldn't that make him an accessory? The father?
Yep.
Just saying.
You know what I felt like? I felt like the father knew what his son was capable of and was afraid to go in the house. Yeah. There's a lot of these situations where that individual.
No, I'm sorry, because truth be told, said wasn't he abusive, but he had not been abusive to her. He had been abusive to the previous girlfriend.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
I don't.
Okay, so sitting with this one was a lot for me. Um, because I don't think that she is to blame whatsoever. Because in a world as it should be, this shouldn't even be possible. I do also feel though for Malika for how I would move, right? With my baby. Um that the good world that it should be is not what it is. And if someone has it in them, it's probably still there. Once he kicked down that door in front of my daughter, called me out my name, went and grabbed this weapon, knowing I bought it to protect our family, his family, and did all of this in front of my daughter and told me, you gonna get out or else I'm gonna make you like pretty much not gonna walk out this house. I don't take
I mean, I would have been
threats
gone.
lightly.
I mean, that's me, Malika. I would have been the fuck
Right,
gone.
right.
And I'm gonna do something to you later. Don't worry about it, nigga. But I would have
I'm
been
coming back
gone.
with
And I'm just
mine.
saying,
Me and
I
mine,
can't
we
blame
come
her.
right. I don't
Not
feel like
one
she
person,
deserves.
Malika, said that he was wrong. Not
And
one.
even beyond that, I've seen on like when I used to watch Cops with my dad, whenever they would go and there would be any back and forth between two adults, somebody was going to jail. Somebody was going to be held, even if it was like a 24-hour hold, or he was drunk. So if you're going to sleep it off in a cell and then you can come back tomorrow, all of those things are there. I do wish that she had somebody that could say, friend, I know what pride is feeling like right now. I know that this is an effed up situation, but we not gonna play because these people been wiping us out for absolutely no reason. And if he keeps saying this, like if I gotta drive miles, I'll drive miles, sleep in your car, I'll get there. I so wish that she had that. I feel so hurt for her. I feel so hurt for her. I do want to give the disclaimer though to anyone who is watching that may be in a situation like anything close to this, leave. Go sleep in that car. Go into the sectors that governors has set up and reach out and say, hey, this just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, does anybody have any way that they can help me right now? Do not stay in that space. I don't care if it's just a feeling you get. You have mothers putting their babies in microwaves. Like, let's talk about it. You got,
Yeah.
I think one gentleman just boiled his child. So it's
Yeah.
not. Go ahead, Quatita. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, two things, Malika, and y'all on this subject, right? One, my grandma, this hits home for me. Let me tell you why. Because my grandfather was super abusive to my grandma. He used to beat her, and she would call the police, and the police would tell him to take a walk, cool off. She's a bloody fucking mess. My grandfather did take a walk. He circled the block, and when he came back, he shot my grandma 5 times. My grandmother fucking survived. But the fact is, there was nothing put in place to help. Not then and not now. Let's not forget, we talked about the one story of the lady in New York who had the man on camera in her house beating her. She left him, took her kids to school, and he crashed into her, got out, and shot her. Nothing is being done. And I'm going to say this because I feel like they're happy that these men are doing the job for them. We have no protection, so you protect yourself. I would have been gone, but I've been in that situation before where I could have been like, I'm chasing a nigga around the projects with a knife. He turned around, he chasing me with a knife. Like, I could have been unalive many times over because you have a love for someone and you don't know. In your mind, he's like, yeah, he crazy, but I don't know if he will, but even if you know or don't know, he will. Malika's absolutely correct. You got to choose you at some point and just leave, even when things look hard, because even if you had to leave for that night, some things could have been different. But I also did a live about how men act like they cannot control their emotions. It is a lack of respect for Black melanite women period. And it has been proven time and time again where they just feel like they can do whatever they want to do to us.
Not one lie's been told. Not one whatsoever. It's definitely a sick situation, and yeah, he wrong. He is definitely wrong as two left shoes. What's up, Malika?
I just wanted to say, in regards to what Quatita was saying, there's so many videotapes of officers saying we really can't do anything until he does something to you. And
Yep.
I do in my heart feel like she thought that she could have the upper hand. And the only reason that I say that is because on her voice recordings with the officer, she kept saying, I just want a report. I just want a report in case I have to defend myself. I want y'all to know if he attacks me, I'm gonna do what I have to do. And you got to make sure that plan is strictly in place. I've said that to family members. So you know he has to go now, right? You know
Yeah.
you have
I
to have
think
your
it's
stuff in
weird
place,
that
get your
she
report.
called first and they didn't come until he called.
They didn't come until later on that evening when he called. That's absolutely. And she called twice. And then she went to the Family Dollar. And then I also think that something fell through there. I'll be really quick. Sorry, Aubrey. I also think something fell through there because she made a request. And that request, I feel like, should have been warranted when she said, please do not send the police to this address. It will escalate the situation. There were so many cries for help in this that went unheard. And it just shows how jacked up the system is, because that should have been known by, since they were low on officers in the area, all of the officers should have been known that there was already a request for someone to be met away from the household.
Once they called the police and she said he pulled a gun on me, why wasn't he arrested? That's the question. That's the
He
fucking
didn't give a
question.
damn.
Somebody always got to go to jail when a police is calling a domestic violence situation. He pulled the gun. He should have been arrested. It makes no sense to me. I'm done.
But then again, he was drunk. So you guys are not seeing the signs of someone under the influence? Did we not do a DUI, especially if he indicated that he's been drinking, right? And then if the tables would have turned because she was in the Navy, you would have already labeled her as a person to unalive people and that especially trained to unalive individuals. And she would have been the aggressor.
Exactly.
So ultimately, you guys gave completely no fucks on anything because of the simple fact that this was just another call that you were tired of doing at that point. And oh, we're just going to allow them to get it over with. But Miss Ma'am, with the pulling of the gun and shooting down the walls like he in a Marvel movie, honey, decided that that is what he wanted to do. And then went out in a cowardly way
Yep.
because you were a bitch ass nigga. And I'm sorry, my
You
bad.
should have
Sorry.
just killed yourself.
Because you went to Alabama to unalive yourself, but you took a mother and her child in front of your child.
Exactly.
And you drop your child off. Oh, let me drop my princess off at someone else's house. And I am going to take the life of a woman that was here to protect my child from the training professionally to make sure that nothing happens to my child. But yet I will take her and her child's life because I can't win a motherfucking PlayStation game fucking tournament. You got to be really losing your shit for you to feel that that is okay for you to do. I'm sorry.
Come
Malika, go ahead.
on,
That finger
yeah,
been
come
up.
on,
Sorry,
Go
Malik.
ahead. Go ahead.
Right,
just one,
right, right.
one last thing, because you said something about the officers not caring, right? And I forgot to make that point. What really pisses me off is that the officer was one of the commentators under the Shade Room and under Hollywood Unlocked, in my opinion. No, not for real, Aubrey. Not like in real life. What I'm saying is she made this woman's experience as if she chose to make it as if it was her own. Well, if it was me, I would have taken my daughter out. Well, she must not really be that afraid. She did state that, she kind of thinks it, but she doesn't really think it. She's on the fence. Ma'am, this has nothing to do with you or what you would do. And this is where I say police lack the necessary training, because there are so many people in this world with so many different psychological makeups. You have Stockholm syndrome. You have so many things. You know nothing about this woman's trauma. How dare you compare your life and your what I would do's to this situation?
You got a genite male and a genome female. They didn't give a fuck
at all.
What the fuck happened?
At all. It was like let them like they do us. Let them take, like you just said, let them take care of themselves. Let them kill themselves off. At any rate, anybody else want to touch on this? We good? Okay. Come on, Aubrey, take it away. Friend's wedding.
Well, on this week of What Would You Do? Okay. Listen, we have a scenario of a gentleman, honey. Don't mind him eating this chicken wing. Okay. Listen to what he has to say, because listen, I feel like he has a point. And then after we see the video, y'all, I want the panel, us, to discuss what is really going on and what would you do in this situation, and is his opinion slash reality valid? But I ain't got the video, Carmen, so you're gonna have to actually play it. So you gotta get this.
Wait, which video? Wait a minute. Look, y'all, I did not know I was gonna be the official video player tonight. Okay, I did not get the memo. I did not.
It's Jose's laugh in Aubrey's background. Jose, you might as well turn on your microphone, boo, because
Jose,
we hear you.
don't press us. Okay. We have
Okay,
technical issues tonight. It's okay. We gonna have it right. Okay, so
okay,
this is the second video that I had with the dude with the chicken bone in there. I reposted it.
okay. I got that one. Hold on. Chicken Bone Man.
Sorry, Carmen, I just threw you in there, but listen, the camera
It's
had
okay. Look, hey, and of course I'm bringing it up on the phone that wants to take forever to do everything. Okay.
Now he ain't talking to me because we in the club and he trying to talk to these women, but he married. And I told him, hey, bro, you need to cut that out. He told me, man, why you hating, bro? Well, I ain't hating. I ain't tell you to walk down there now. I ain't tell you to introduce me to this woman and you go get that ring on your finger. Got me out on this wedding, spending all this money to come to y'all wedding to watch you come in this club and cheat and mess it all up. That's my money I spent on your wedding. I spent my money on your wedding. And I spent a lot of it too. We all in Vegas and all of that, all these casinos, and I'm spending all of my money. Nah, y'all stand together. You don't want to introduce me to this lady that be calling her sis all the time. And all, I'm not gonna be lying in this woman face. Boy, you better go get you a drink. I pay for it. Get you a drink and sit down somewhere, bro, because you ain't spending. Nah, I spent too much money on y'all wedding.
He got a point.
So, what do you guys think about this? Because I feel that as of people, right? I'm going to speak for me. I am the type of friend that want all of my friends to hold me accountable. Why? Because that's just what I feel like that's going to be the best, healthiest thing that you should be able to do. And also with you building the relationship. You don't want a yes man as a friend every single time. So at the end of the day, if my friend is doing something that is wrong, and I know that it is wrong, I am going to tell them absolutely the fuck not. But we have this mentality, and I really hate that a lot of men have the mentality is of what we do is what we do, and it is not to be discussed. But what if everybody that's in your clique don't operate like that, like you, sir? That man felt like I spent all this money to be at your holy matrimony. I sacrificed a lot to be at your wedding and to be a part of your wedding. And you are literally telling me that what I went through is absolutely nothing. And I am going to deliberately in front of your face because you my homeboy. And regardless of what it is, because I am in the middle of, in my mind, I'm married, but I want to have my cake and I want to eat it too. And now I'm going to be a toxic person in someone else's life and cause them additional trauma because I want to feel good in my system. I got a little weed, a little drink. Oh, I'm having a little time with some fine little honeys in here, and I just want to shoot my shot to see if I still got it. You have a wife. And if you loved Loved her, and if that is someone that has your last name, then you would never see any woman. I don't give a damn if she's Beyonce Giselle Knowles. You will not see her in a way to feel as though that's something that you have the right to have as well. If you are trying to be monogamous, then stay in that lane. If you really want to dibble and dabble and have all those additional options, they've created the polyamorous for you. It's a choice. But don't keep making women look stupid because you want to be selfish and you feel that pussy is at the top of your motherfucking pyramid. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's come on. Let's talk about it. What do y'all think?
I was gonna say he don't have no love or respect for either one of them, i.e. the woman and whoever that young man was, the friend or the homeboy or the cousin or whatever. And the reason why I say that is especially for the well, of course for the wife, but the homeboy especially. You're putting me in a predicament that I should not be in. You know what I'm saying? If you doing dirt, don't put me in the middle of that shit. You obviously don't give a fuck about me. Like, come on now. I'm done.
So I want basically I agree with you completely, Aubrey, and I feel like it's an interesting. Uh, I feel like it's a interesting conversation to have when you talk about how he spent his money to witness this holy matrimony just for this person to go and waste that energy. And it's an interesting thing to think about how like I feel like this generation, well, maybe not so much this generation because everything's on social media, but at one point things were like mind your business, like don't that's not your business. But I feel like it's important to show how we now understand how other people's relationships affect us, and I feel like it's important because we don't necessarily talk about that. Like if I'm your friend and you're choosing to have this energy exchange, now I am now in this energy that you're in, and you're intertwining me into it in a negative way, regardless of whether it was exchanged with money. That's an appropriate expectation to have. I spent money on your wedding to see you get married, and now you're doing this. That's an issue we have now on multiple levels. Your morals, do I want to hang out with people like that? Like you made me kind of waste my energy to exchange it for something that is not worth the same value, like stuff like that. So I completely agree. I'm glad that he spoke up, and he's obviously right. Obviously the friend is tripping because like what was the point?
Right.
Like you said, Aubrey, what was the point?
I like that he said, "You got me calling this lady sis." Like that means I now must
Yes.
betray her. She
Mm-hmm.
gonna think I'm a person that I'm not. You trying to make me somebody that I'm not. So he's obviously not that kind of person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Chaz, is you gonna say something?
it's like it's like we go through these stages with people we love that we hold dearly or that we be around as friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. You kind of attract the energy you're around. So it's like if your friend is acting out like this, now it's like, well, now this person getting a view of me because that's your friend. You know what I'm saying? That makes you that makes you get looked at as a certain way, and I I feel like he done right. You hold your friend accountable for that bullshit because now look how you showing up to my table and your table now. That energy is residing on me. Now look, everybody else is gonna. If I don't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Look how I'm gonna be looked at because you my boy, but now I gotta tell you what's up because that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I spent money on this. You're being selfish. You're not worried about nobody else's feelings but yours. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I get it because now, like you said, now I have to. Now I feel like I'm in a position to where I have to change my energy with your wife, your soon to be wife or whatever now, because of a position that you put me in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Absolutely. Come on, Lee.
So I don't care if you paid to go to the wedding or you didn't pay. It was a free wedding. It was a brunch. Y'all went to the post office and handled it real quick. A real estate office, wherever it was. I don't care what it was. Hold your friends accountable. I do not want a friend who is afraid to tell me the truth about myself because it is typically them who will talk about you behind your back to someone else because they can't wait to get the truth off their chest. No, tell me to my face if you think that I am slacking or slipping and sliding on who it is that I'm supposed to be, the best version of myself and representation of you and our friendship. Tell me. Do not
Mm.
be afraid to lose me as your friend. And if I choose to walk away because you know you told me the right thing, then guess what? I wasn't your friend to begin with. Because I should be able to receive it in love. Release the fear of loss. Stop telling your friends what they want to hear because you're afraid that it's going to shift some things or it's going to be uncomfortable. I don't care about the discomfort. If I feel like there's something in me that says I need to say this to my friend, I'm going to say this. And I love that he did this. It reminds me of when Ro and I first started dating, and Key is Ro's brother, for those of you who do not know. Key and them will go out to downtown Orlando. Stop it, Quatita. Key and them will go out to downtown Orlando. And when girls would still come up to Ro and have conversations with him, Key would be like, "Hey, bruh, we going to sis house after for dinner? Hey, bruh, you called sis yet? Because you know she probably waiting for you at home." And Ro would be like, "It's just a high school friend." Key did not care. I love that. Protect me when I'm not there. And gentlemen, last thing I'm gonna say is when you have a friend group like this and your wife gets to see that your friend group behaves like this, just as Chaz says, she now knows and can trust you even more because your friend group is a reflection of you as well. You know, in some aspects, sometimes you have the little one off, but your friend group is a reflection of you. So she knows it's safe for her to feel comfortable because even if you almost feel like slipping up, you've got backative that's going to make sure that it never happens. I mean, unless you see somebody real bad and then you call her up on the phone and be like, "I'm flying you out because I just met her something." You know, I feel like this could be a situation, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I love y'all. Peace.
Gratitude. Gratitude. Um, if nobody else wants to touch on this, anybody else want to touch on this? Because Miss. Oh, you're not going. Okay. Dang. I wanted you to do your story, governess. I ain't gonna even lie.
We're out of time. We were going to talk about Legina, and how everybody
Oh,
that was going how that went. So we did not get a chance to do just a couple stories. We was going to hit Chaz's prosthetic mystery, and it might carbon AI. Now we did that though, didn't we?
we did that. Yeah, we did that. Hmm.
And then Chaz's sundown. So we didn't get to the last three stories, but we just we'll talk
Okay.
about it. We'll talk about it.
Please,
We'll talk
just
about it.
10
Okay.
more minutes. Just 10 more minutes, please. Cut the music. Cut the music. Please. 10 more minutes.
Look. I'm begging. I'm begging too. Like, I really wanted you to touch on this
10
Legina
more minutes.
situation.
Just
Like,
10 more minutes.
Yes.
Encore.
We
Look,
never do this. This is special for tonight because the fro is popping, the curls are looking
see,
extra
the
spectacular.
committee is begging
Yes,
too.
The earrings is
10 more
Yes,
earrings.
minutes.
the hair is
The
herring
earrings
for
are
sure.
earringing, the hair is hearing, but
Yes.
please.
okay, so but let me put
See,
the
folks,
topic
this stuff.
up. Let's go on and put the topic up because we'll go around the panel and just see what the thoughts are because that's what I wanted. Excuse me, just to see what the panel's thoughts was because we have not discussed it since I did the session with Legina Gold. And everything that took place with that. It was a lot of
Foolishness.
shit that took place. But let's go. Let's start. Come on, Charming.
So, I was at work, so I was like hearing it in and out, in and out. But I did get to hear a lot of it, and a lot of it seems like she is being also misled by the people around her, and they are also feeding into this ideology that she has. Um, like she kept talking about her spiritual leaders and her readers and all that stuff. So I
No,
thought that
that was
was
lies. I got the text after. All of that was lies.
oh shit. Okay. Well, there we go. So then if that's the case, then she just is fucking lying. But I did find it interesting
She's
that
a
she
liar.
was saying that she didn't do like the interviews for clout. And I was saying like if you Google her name, which I didn't even realize it was like that, there's like 4 or 5 interviews, and it's like you have to be doing it for clout because Aaliyah and Robert Kelly cannot come and find you. The only reason why you do that many interviews when you have a lost set of parents is so they can come and find you. They can't come and get you. They can't come and find you. You are doing it for clout strictly. Like there's no other reason. So
What do you mean
I
by
thought
that? What do you mean when you say that? What do you mean? Well, they
okay,
can't come and find you.
so basically like it's like a call for help. Like when people are like, oh, I'm missing my parents, I haven't seen my parents since I was left at the doorstep of my adopted mother at the age of 2. And it's like they do interviews so that those interviews can go around and people can see them, and their potential lost parents could say, oh, she's calling out for me, let me go and seek her, let's go and connect. She's doing these interviews, but like there's gonna be the interviews don't actually help her cause because who's going to tell her that they are her parents, that they can't tell her. So it's just her seeking validation through these like facade interviews, through this attention seeking interviews. And of course the journalists and the people who are interviewing her, and I feel like they're also doing it for clout too, because you are the only one who basically said like, no, that's not what it is. And I didn't watch the other interviews, but I'm sure they weren't telling her that because so anyways, I don't want to keep it too long. Go ahead.
Yeah, nobody else stood their ground and told her anything. Before we get to Malika, can I just say Vincent Tennell said that he thought it was foolish because everybody cheats. Vincent, I don't cheat. You cheat. Don't put your shit on everybody else. Go ahead, Malika.
Wait, he said that about the previous story?
Yeah, I just saw it come across the screen. He said he thought it was foolish because everybody cheats. Everyone doesn't cheat. You cheat,
Everyone does
Vincent.
not cheat. Whoa. Everyone
I don't
definitely
cheat.
doesn't cheat. And
Yeah, stop speaking for everybody.
you have a lot of divine feminine like myself who understand the importance of not having a revolving door between your legs. So we stick to one. It's
This is
one
good.
body to my all. One body to my all. All right. It doesn't. You first of all, he gonna know the difference because it's like a keyhole and the key. It fit anyway. Back to this because that's ridiculous.
The
Now I
tumblers
already
done
gave
changed on this lock.
I already gave my feedback at the end of the live, and I want to say again that my friend Quatita Dean did an amazing job with how she handled this reading. I do want to say, Legina, if you so happen to be tuned in or this gets back to you, it is okay. And I want to repeat this because governess was telling you this, and you may not be receiving it, but it is okay to be yourself. It is okay. It's very sad to me that you have disconnected from self based on the trauma that you have experienced, which I am sure that it has been a lot of trauma. I am sure that there's a lot of things that even you have to forgive yourself for in your lifetime based on just watching this interview. Um, People will still accept you, and those who don't are irrelevant. Find your space, but find it when you are in your realest and truest self. And please understand the level of dangerous that you are is very different from the level of dangerous that my friend is. She is absolutely dangerous, but dangerous in the best way. The dangerous that you are falls into a form of toxicity that is a danger to others and yourself. And please believe me, if you have come up here and so valiantly stated that you have no memory of these things, that is a clear sign that you cannot trust yourself or your thoughts in this moment. So if you are getting feedback from a loving source, receive that and accept it, because you are yourself expressing that the experiences are all jumbled up, if that is the truth. If that is the truth, look at the information that was given to you when you were on your own time, analyze it with the truths that you know. Also, remember that you may not be the best person to depend on for trusting who you are and how you're showing up to others, because like you said, you don't even have it all figured out in your mind, right? And just
Mhm.
understand, understand, overstand that it was given in love. There are divine feminine and masculine who are out here that'll be like, okay, she lied, so what, let's move on. The
Let me
attention
say
that you are
why I
seeking,
said she was dangerous, though. Go ahead. No,
mhm,
no, no. Finish that.
the I don't remember what I was about to say. I believe it
You
was
said the attention she was seeking.
the
Mm.
attention you are seeking and the spaces that you are seeking in only feed to the toxicity that is what you are representing with these I don't want to call it tales or stories, but with your idea of where you are in this tales and stories shit. Just take some
I
time to
want to
reel
just
in and
say
figure it
why
out.
I said she was dangerous. I want to expound on what I meant. She's dangerous in the sense of a child not getting their way. And I'm going to just say that my mom's husband is touching me inappropriately, and it never happened. She's dangerous in that way because, let's be clear, we did not bring it up, but she has said that two major celebrities has raped her, sexually abused her, and one procreated a child with her, and that's the fake pregnancy, excuse me, sorry, whatever, that she is referencing when she says the miscarriage. She's talking about a miscarriage because she says that the musical artist Drake is who she claims to have sexually assaulted her and impregnated her, in which she miscarried. She is dangerous in a way that is unhealthy for everyone that she encircles herself with. Go ahead, Chaz.
Exactly. So I'm gonna need her to figure out a way to heal because that is a dangerous game, and these names that you are associating yourself with is dangerous as well. To even lie to that extent just for attention, you know. I recognize this behavior, so I'm not speaking too much on it because I know when somebody is off in the head. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I really just don't want anything from this young lady but to heal. You know, I can say I can say that I was mad a couple of times because I know when somebody's lying or whatever, but that's besides the fucking point. The point is, how long are you gonna keep this up? You know what I'm saying? Like, how far do you think you're gonna get with this? You know what I'm saying? And only thing I have negative to say is that I don't like the way that she tried to make you look. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Why take an interview to get up there and then discredit someone? You know what I'm saying? That's it. All I gotta say is just heal. At this point, listen. If you decided to tell the truth or whatever, I accept you. I will respect you more. You know what I'm saying? I will respect you more if you would sit up and be like, you know what, you're right. Yeah, this is where this came from. This is why I'm like this. And I would respect you more. But to sit up there and just keep lying and even to self like that, mm-mm. But just heal.
Now, I know that he has been accused of some things before. I missed the comment trying to put it up there. He has
Mm-hmm.
been accused of some things before. However, if you've never been around that person, and you cannot, you know what I'm saying? She's never, and what's the, I can't think of the other rapper name that she said sexually assaulted her as well. It's another one. He got locks. He's a young dude or whatever. And it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. I cannot. It's so dangerous. If you had been around that person, I might have second guessed. I might have said, "Oh, well, maybe," you know. But the fact that you've not been around that person, you're trying to present your life in such a way that you have never experienced it. You have not. Come on, Jose.
It makes me think of like a little bit of the swarm mentality. If when you watch Swarm, you get to see how the mind was fractured in that way in real time, and it was sad. Actually, it was disheartening to watch. And then also, I have to say there were moments where it was like, okay, it seems like you caught me. I'm gonna tell a little truth to this, so I'm gonna tell you the truth on this aspect. It was like when she kept going back in circles, it was finally like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many times I can keep like going around about with this, so I'm just gonna have to tell you, yeah, this happened. This is pretty accurate. I don't know if that's me, but it's me kind of thing. I saw that coming out kind of thing. And I also was like, I can feel compassion for her in a way because of her trauma, but also the way you're using your trauma with people around you and to get what you need and elevate where you want to go is very, I get why you say it's so dangerous. And I can see how that danger was being portrayed because in her head, that danger was going to help her get to the plateau and the space that she was going to go. She was going to
It's
go.
dangerous for her too, Jose.
Yes.
Because if you're doing that, and my son has just got his career off the fucking ground, such a Sada baby, I might have to come see you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never been around my son. Why are you calling my son by his name? Like, bitch, I'll knock your lights out.
And it's scary when you think of things like that. It's scary when you are using names that you don't know what comes with them, who comes with them, just to see where you'll go and what and what publicity stunt will get you to being the next person on, I guess, a TV show or something. It's sad. And it's sad that you've changed your whole mind and recreated your whole persona because understanding that your name is not really Legina and it's Angela was also something I didn't know because I don't know too much about her. But that was sad in itself. You're trying to disassociate from yourself in every way, but the way you're doing it is the scariest way in real time. But that's all I wanted to say.
That's why she's so manipulative, Jose. She doesn't care who her lies hurt nor affects. She comes off as very, I'm this, I'm that. She is absolutely a person like, I hope this lady gets her out of her house. Where she goes, I don't give a fuck because you're dangerous as fuck and you don't care who you hurt. Her whole thing was that nobody was no longer talking about this shit. She needed to become relevant again, and so she came to me. There was 1,500 people on there watching. And so now the buzz is again because, like she said, when I went viral, you knew what you was doing. I don't feel sorry for her. I did what the deity asked me to do, which was cut her a break. Because if I speak the way I really want to speak about the broad, I'll put the bitch in a cow's tongue to follow her fucking suitor. Knock it the fuck off. There's real people that's raped. You understand what I'm saying? Like, fuck her. Sorry, not sorry. Come on, Aubrey.
You better shake every curl on your head while you yes. Um, First of all, I believe that she literally was shocked when you were giving her the rundown. Uh, she did not know what to say. It was like, wait, what did you say? No, baby, she was very clear on what she said because I heard her wasn't nothing going on. No, you heard her. She said X, Y, and Z, ma'am, honey. We need to know what this is. And I felt like for her, she felt like, oh, I can't give the performance that I'm used to giving because this is a different type of realm I'm in right now. You're in the realm of truth, sweetheart. So anything that you are saying, it is only going to worsen the wound. So every time that she would oblige and she would try to block it and say that, oh, that's not what it was, and it was this, and third. Okay. Hmm. Alrighty. So we're going to try to move on. Even when you were trying to conclude the interview, and we kept going back into, well, I show gratitude for you
She wanted
allowing
more
me to come.
airtime.
Huh?
She wanted more airtime.
Yeah, but absolutely not. You've already indicated that I am not the person that is doing the work, and you indicated that this is something that you do. You dibble and dabble in this work. So you said, I already knew you were not going to believe me. But it wasn't about the being a believer of you, it was the fact of this is your opportunity to come clean. We're having a discussion, we're having a conversation, and you already was given the grace of our beautiful deities to allow that to happen so that a woman of your stature of teaching could be able to tell another melanite woman, hey, these are things that you could be able to get over with a little bit of healing. Right? So now I have the platform, I have the things to help you with this. Let's do it. You decided to give her the grace, and she decided to gaslight it.
Yeah,
But
I
ultimately,
didn't want to kick her. She's already down.
yes. So absolutely, I feel like she didn't know that it was going to get that real so quickly. Because you really quickly said, okay, listen, the gig is up. This is what it is. Okay, because at this point we're wasting time. And
Yeah.
for you as an interviewer, that was amazing. Because some people want to just you want the build up, you want the build up, but no ma'am. This is what it is. I felt like Angela understood what it was, and she knew that I have to figure out a different angle to make this a little bit better for me. But on the opposite end, from what the viewers had already made their decision, the verdict was in.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
listen, Aubrey, she told on herself, she said, why they won't come and say anything to me until they come and prove me wrong. I'm going to keep doing this. They don't need to prove you wrong. They know the fuck you're not kin to them or related to them. To them, you're a delusional person and you mean nothing. So you know that. So you're going to carry this on.
Quatita, do you see how she attempted to write you into a character that she's used to in her story based
Absolutely.
on the okay,
Absolutely.
okay, right.
I want y'all to keep watching her because what's going to happen is you're going to see me all over her. She's going to try to do what I do.
Can we just really quick, can we just say, going back to the conversation of writing you as a character in her story, right? Because the people that she would typically attempt to get these type of views off of, they match a certain criteria. And she tried to run the same play, which Chaz was saying, of disrespecting you to be like, everybody would be like, oh, the victim. What she didn't know was that the community that you have is a genuine one, a real one who doesn't play games. And I want this to really soak in because sometimes you will write a person into the trauma that you're used to, and it'll end up being a fuck around and find out moment. And that is what she had in that moment. It was fuck around and
And
find
that's
out,
why
and
she
she
keeps
did.
bringing up Drake and Sada Baby because you experienced this trauma, but you don't want to put those faces on it because those were the people you loved. So you decided to take away that sting and still build up this falsified character to write that shit in your script. No.
but Quatita, and I'm gonna say this and I'm done. To make it worse, you went to find someone that was in the industry that would listen and didn't even understand that this person was just as bad. But birds of a feather flock together. Because both of you guys have the same mentality, it's just on different levels. Both of y'all will cry woe with me and are very dangerous in certain things that you would do. As to
Yeah,
why
she
that
was
she's
going
no
to
longer with
exploit her and she was willing to be exploited.
you. But you said that though.
Mm. And that's why the anyway, it won't stop because you didn't listen. So it don't stop. And period. Come on, Carbon. You don't get up out of here.
Yeah, hey, and there's nothing I can really add. Y'all done touched every damn base there really is to touch. Basically all I got was this is my story and I'm sticking to it. I don't give a fuck how many facts you okay, I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. This is my damn story and I'm sticking to it. But it was for me it was like an episode of the Chappelle show, and I'm gonna give you the episode. With Rick James. Did you grind your feet in Eddie Murphy's couch with a shoe full of shit and dirt? No, I never did that. Yeah, well, I did do that. She did that shit the whole interview. Where you were raped? No, I wasn't raped and I wasn't molested. And then she would rephrase the question. It was like, yeah, well, yeah, I was molested. I was raped. Like, well, yeah, it was. Like, come on, man. Like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Not sure if it was me. I don't remember. My Baba Lao said.
Right, right. So it was just like she knew she was lying. I'm very keen. No, I was gonna say I'm very keen on body language, and you could tell, like when you would say certain shit, them eyes get the bucking and shucking and shit. It's like, girl, it's a good giveaway. I'm done. But yeah, y'all covered it good. So
Well, this is what she was told. So she kept saying the Babalao and her tata, right? So this is the message I received. The Babalao told her not to dig into the past or you will dig a hole you can't get out of. The Tata told her he couldn't work with her because she was lying. So I don't know why she brought them people up, is what she said. She's a liar and a manipulator. Who is the reader that told you this, ma'am? You can't make me feel bad or uncomfortable or put me in some sort of position because you're bringing up another motherfucking reader. Honey, what? Huh?
I just hope she finds healing
Girl,
before she hurts herself.
Well,
yeah, that's it's just unfortunate, sis. It's unfortunate. She's crazy as fuck. It's unfortunate. Okay. I don't know what I was hearing or not hearing. Y'all, it's been a great show. It's been a wonderful, 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 wonderful show. Um, I hope you all enjoyed yourself. We enjoyed ourselves for sure. Until next week, until next time. Don't trust no G Night. Don't trust no Gino. Solitude de Wa. Peace out, y'all.
tell it to their wives.